One thing I've realized lately is that a lot of us are overthinkers and not really thinkers. Like, we think, but we're not really thinking. So, thinking should get you from one place to another. Not necessarily like physical movement, but okay, if I do this, this action would affect this and that. But thinking should not necessarily be a negative process. That's what I think a lot of times overthinking is. Overthinking is a lot of doubts, a lot of doubting our ability, questioning ourselves, which I don't think is necessarily bad. But if you question yourself in a way that doesn't, that's not loving and against like the word of God and whatnot, that's where I think it's not really you. Like, I think a lot. I think about so many different scenarios, but then I don't actually do anything about it. I have journals, notes, different books I'm reading and whatnot, and different things I want to do with these different ideas. But if I think and don't actually do anything with it, it's actually quite useless. Yeah. Um, I'm watching this podcasting right now, and he brings up a point of like, okay, and I really relate because I don't think enough. I overthink, but I don't actually think. If I do this one thing that will give me pleasure at the moment, what are the actual consequences of my actions? He's, for context, is what he said. He said, if I do one line of coke, I'm not just gonna do one line of coke. I'm gonna do more. I don't know what an eight ball is or whatever, but he says an eight ball. He says that I'm gonna want to get drunk, that I'm gonna drink. Then whenever I get drunk, it makes me want to act lustful. So after I do lustful things, I'm gonna go, I mess up, do lustful things. And after that, I have this community that I started that we're supposed to represent this, this, and that. But I cannot actually do what I need to do for my community if I do one decision. And yeah, not thinking before you actually act is probably my biggest struggle, especially talking. The Bible talks about being slow to speak, being slow to anger, listen, so be slow to speak, being slow to anger, and there's probably something else in there. I'm pretty sure it's James 1. We could probably pull it up somewhere. Not somewhere, but let's pull it up. And it says, yeah, everyone should be, it says, dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I think I've really done well on the slow to become angry part. Slow to speak, not so much. Slow to listen, yeah, but not so much. Still lots of things that need to be done. Thinking should get you from one place to another. I think also in us, me, we struggle with instant gratification. We think of instant gratification because, okay, if I spray this, this is not, this is Febreze. Sprays Febreze, it's gonna make my room smell better, right? But it's also gonna put random chemicals in the air that happen to smell good, right? Water, hydrophil, all this, all these ingredients that it says on here. I want this instant gratification of a better smelling place, but then I'm also injecting chemicals in the air that could probably do something to my lungs. I actually have never done any research on Febreze, but I don't think most of us have. But yeah, our thoughts should get us to another position, not just stuck in the same place. I'm not saying that you should not think. I think we should actually think, but we shouldn't overthink. This is where some random YouTuber would insert a framework of how to actually think instead of, you know, overthinking. First off, positive thoughts and negative thoughts. I don't think it's actually bad to think negatively, but whenever you start condemning yourself in these negative thoughts, then you're not actually deep thinking. You're just overthinking, which is negative. Then, when it comes to overthinking, if you go throughout the same scenario multiple times and no action's actually done, then boom. You can plan all day, but I think it's not enough to just plan if no work is done. Like, sometimes I struggle with the idea of, like, I think philosophy is amazing. I think psychology is amazing. We're studying, we're understanding. But if there's nothing done with these studying and understanding, then it's useless. To a certain degree, of course. I actually know. If there's nothing done, then it's useless. And I don't think, like, laying in bed sometimes is not doing anything. It's not like not doing something. It's important for you to rest. It's important for you to take time to actually let the body have peace. We actually need several moments of just us. You know what I'm saying? But, we fill our minds with so much. So when it comes to deep thinking or actually thinking, after you think about something, think about, what are these actions going to do? What is this going to affect? Don't do that often. For example, literally, I never got a parking pass. And because of that, when I got tickets, I tried to pay for them. But for some reason on my account, I've tried to pay for them. It's never worked. I've never gone there in person or anything like that. I just throw it in the trash can or put it on the bottom of my car, like the floor of my car seat. Yeah, nothing ever happened. This week, was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. My car got booted. They gave me a $70 ticket, a $75 ticket. Then they also said I had to pay $70 or $75 to get the boot out of my car. So if we do some quick math, that is $285 just thrown on my name or whatever nonsense. But these are consequences of my actions. I didn't think about how not getting a parking ticket is gonna affect my things. Now, for context, I owe the school $568. Consequences of my actions. If this, then that, then that, then that. I think that's how we should actually think. But a lot of us struggle to, if this, then that, then that, then that, then that, then that. Instead of, we should think, it doesn't matter the direction of how you're thinking, but if this, then that, then that, then that, then back to that, to that. Like being able to apply. I think it's where mind mapping probably works. Maybe actually we can do this as an exercise. So get out a piece of paper. Think of an action. Okay, for example, I want to go swim with my friend later. So swim at 7:30. If I go swim at 7:30, what is gonna happen? First, I have to drive there. We think of that subconsciously, but we don't actually do it. Drive there. I have like 19 miles of gas. First time also means I need to buy gas. No parking pass. So what does that mean? I have to either park somewhere where I'm not gonna get ticketed or a far walk, right? And I also have to leave my house at a certain time to get there on time and whatnot. I don't think you need to think about every single detail of what it takes to get to wherever you're going to, but I do think it's very important to count the cost. Okay, if I go swim then, I'm gonna have to take a shower afterwards, chlorine, smell this, da 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 da, boom. I think stuff like that is important. You don't need to count your steps of everywhere you're going to. I think that's very obsessive, just being honest with you. I don't also think you need to have everything figured out to the T, but you should have an idea. Maybe I should. Maybe actually. Okay, today's Sunday, so I'm gonna plan my week after I come back from this pool thing. Plan what I'm gonna do every day and try to see if I can stick to like a daily schedule and see how that helps. And let's see how that helps progresses of my life and whatnot. Because I usually like go with the flow and I have a really hard time with structure. But it's because I'm not thinking about how my actions affect other people. This, blase, 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 blase. Boom. You know what I'm saying? We got this. I think the goal is to actually think, not overthink. Because a lot of us get stuck in overthinking, which ends up having no progress. If you're anything like me, because we all overthink, you do nothing with it. But the goal here is to move forward. Progress is what changes lives. If I'm being honest with you, progress and luck. Progress, luck, and Jesus. But yeah, take a deep breath. I know for some people this may seem overwhelming and whatnot, but just do it slowly. My dad likes to say little by little is how we actually get stuff done. So little by little planning is how you actually get to the places that you want to go. It's not just a hop in a car and go places like I want to do. It needs to be planned out just a little bit.